Where the wild things are, a summary Max is a young boy with a wild imagination. He likes to dress up in a wolf costume and cause mischief at home. One night he gets into trouble for two things: chasing the dog and talking back to his mom. She calls him a wild thing, and Max yells back, "I'll eat you up!" As punishment, his mum sends him to his room without dinner. And this sets the stage for the magical journey that follows. First, we see Max's anger and rebellion. His mum has called him a wild thing, and he takes that label and runs with it. "I'll eat you up," he says, pretending to be a wild animal that eats its prey. Then we see him sailing away on a boat. This shows us how Max wants to escape from his life and be somewhere else, somewhere wild. The story takes us from Max's room to the land of the wild things. What does that transformation look like? How do we know when Max arrives in the land of the wild things? When Max is alone in his room, his imagination begins to transform his surroundings. The walls of his bedroom slowly turn into a forest. A private boat appears, ready to take him away. So Max sails across the night and day, through a year and over oceans, until he arrives at a strange and magical place, the land of the wild things. What are the wild things? How do they react to Max? They are large, strange and beast-like creatures with claws and fangs and wild eyes. At first, they roar their terrible roars and gnash their terrible teeth. But Max isn't afraid. He stares into their eyes without blinking. The wild things are impressed by his bravery, and they declare Max the wildest one of all and crown him king of the wild things. So what happens when Max becomes the king? Max rules over the wild things joyfully. Together they have wild rumpuses dancing, swinging through trees and celebrating freedom. For a while, Max feels powerful and in control. He doesn't have to follow any rules or listen to anyone. He is the king. But what does Max realize after some time? Despite being the king, Max starts to feel a change inside. He is lonely and misses being with someone who loves him best of all. The wild things may worship him, but they can't give him the warmth and love he craves. He decides it's time to go home. The wild things beg him to stay, saying, "We'll eat you up. We love you so." But Max refuses. He steps back onto his boat and sails away. How does Max feel when he returns home? Max's journey home is just as magical as his journey to the land of the wild things. He sails back across the sea, through time and imagination, until he's back in his room. There, he finds a surprise. His supper is waiting for him, and it's still warm. This quiet ending is powerful. It shows that while Max may need to explore his wild side, he is also deeply connected to his home and the love of his mother. Even after conflict, that love remains. What did we learn from this story? Where the Wild Things Are is a story about childhood, imagination, and the power of love. It reminds us that even when we're angry or scared, it's important to stay true to ourselves and never give up hope. If you want to hear more stories like this one, subscribe to our channel. We publish a new story every week. Thank you for watching and see you next time.